Dear friends, this Shabbos we'll be reading the portion of Acharei Mot, and how appropriate that we read this portion here outside of Israel in the diaspora, just a week after the terrible tragedy and terrorist attack in Poway, California. In Israel, last Shabbat, the day it happened, that's when they read Acharei Mot. And what is Acharei Mot? We learn about the laws of Yom Kippur, of the holiest day of the year. But why do we begin with Acharei Mot, meaning talking about the death of Aaron's two sons on the inaugural day of the sanctuary, of the Mishkan in the desert? The first day God's presence was amongst the Jewish people through His temple. And the answer, I believe, is that Acharei Mot, when an event happens, an unusual event happens, an unfortunate event, an unanticipated event, such as two people in that time who died suddenly, Aaron's two sons, or what we saw last week, Lori Kay, may her soul be in the highest places in heaven, when Lori Kay was murdered and the others injured. This was a defining moment. And when something like this happens, the question is, how do we respond? How do we digest what happened? How do we react? And sometimes the natural way of reacting is to get angry, to get down, to get upset, to give up, to cower, to hide, or just to become negative. Or, and this is where you truly see who the person is, that if you turn that moment into, like the next portion is called Kiddushim, into a holy moment, it becomes a defining moment where we channel all the sadness, all the shock of everything that we're seeing in front of us and what we experienced, and we channel it to be able to make major change, to be able to do something incredibly great, to be able to take all of the difficulty that people have in digesting what happened and to be able to turn it into a movement, into a power. That Acharei Mot, after the death, there was a moment where we realize how we have to behave and how the only way to define what's going on in the world and how to turn the world into greater goodness. And there's no better example than the rabbi of Poway, Rabbi Yisrael Goldstein, who's been on CNN and written in the New York Times and been on the phone all day long, fielding calls, and instead of being encouraged, he's the one encouraging others, without even having a moment to think about himself, realizing God saved my life, as he said, and we're going to use this to be able to bring more light and more goodness to the world, to bring more positivity, to take the swell of sympathy and to turn into a swell, a movement of action, of coming together in unity, in strength, of talking about things that can help ensure that never again will a 19-year-old be so lost that they turn to this incredible type of action of murder with guns and rifles. This is not the world that we know of. This is not the world that we are working towards. We're working to 19-year-olds should be ambitiously looking how they can look forward to a strong, beautiful, long life of making a difference, bringing a family, loving life, loving impactful, positive actions. This is the world we're looking for. And this is Acharei Mot. And this is very special for us because we are part of this movement. We can make the difference. This Shabbat, come to Shul. Fill the pews. Let every shul, every synagogue around the world be full of people, showing that we recognize that life has value and that we're going to ensure that our children and the general youth will start getting the message of the value of life, the purpose of life, of thinking every day, what do I live for? Why am I here in this world? And what am I trying to turn this world into? And this is up to all of us. We are part of the movement. It's one person that can make a difference. And you are that one person. So join in, do a mitzvah. Let's turn Acharei Mot, after a difficult death, just like in the Mishkan there, it took the seriousness of the temple to a new level. Let's turn the seriousness of who we are as Jews, our values, our morals, our observance, and be an example to the world of Kiddushim, how we turn it into a holy moment, a defining moment that will change the world. So I hope to see you in Shul here, and every Shul be full around the world. Shabbat this week in Montreal starts 7:45 p.m. Women, light the candles before 7:45 p.m. Help bring a light that will be so strong that it will wipe away all darkness fully and completely. May we merit the coming of Mashiach, when all souls will come together again in bodies, and we'll only have a world of goodness, kindness, life, and happiness. May God bless you all. We love you all. Shabbat Shalom.